Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel and thank you for choosing to spend your time with me today. If you watched my last video, which is going to be both linked in the description and somewhere around here, you'll know that I used the Norvina palette and that was really fun and exciting. I love all those purple colors. Since then, I was getting some requests to use the Modern Renaissance palette, so let's get started. So of course I primed, and I used one of my favorite primers, the Too Faced Hangover primer, and I also primed with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in Original. These two are some of my favorite primers. They're really effective, and this one's really moisturizing, which is really good if you have dry skin, and even if you've done your whole skincare routine, this is a good extra step. This one makes the shadows really pop, especially if you're using like an older palette like I'm going to be using, so this is really helpful as well. The look I'm going to be going for was inspired by one of Jackie Aina's old videos, which you can find either in the description or somewhere around here. Yeah, she did a pumpkin spice look, and since it's fall and Halloween is coming up, I decided I want to do something like that as well. So I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Rose Gold Brush 6 with this really fluffy brush tip. And for my base, I'm going to be using this shade Tempura. For my crease, I'm going to first use Raw Sienna, and then I'm going to be using this shade Red Orchid. For my inner V, I want to use this really pretty shade Ralgar, and I'm going to be using brush 9. Towards the center of my lid, I'm going to use brush 8. I'm also going to be using the shade Burnt Orange. And I just want to press it down. Using brush 10, I want to use the shade Venetian Red, and I want to apply it a little bit more over here so that red really pops. And then finally, I'm going to be using the shade Primavera in brush 7. To blend it all together, I'm going to go back to using brush 5, and I'm just going to sweep over it a little bit. Using brush 10 again, I'm just going to take Vermeer and put it in the inner corner of my eyes as well as my brow bone. Okay, so the eyeshadow is done. For the eyeliner, I'm going to be using this Tartiest double-ended liner, and I'm going to be using the pencil side. I usually do like to do wings, but lately I haven't been really into them lately. Maybe it's just because it's like I like to use them for more special occasions now rather than an everyday look. I'm going to be using this Beauty eyeliner. It is the Evercolor Starlight waterproof liner, and it's in the shade Caribbean Sea. It's a really beautiful color, and I really like this pencil. I just recently sharpened it, so that's why it kind of looks like this, but it's really creamy and it just looks really nice. For my mascara, I'm going to first prime with the Fortifying Lashes Laura Geller mascara primer, and then I'm going to be using, of course, the Nars Climax mascara. I really love using this mascara primer because it does most of the heavy lifting, I guess, while the other formulas help it along as well, and it's really hard for my lashes to curl up and lengthen like this, so this is really helpful. I really recommend this. Okay, now my eyes are all done. I'm going to set with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray, and then I'm going to move on to my base. For my face, I'm going to use the Laura Geller Filter First Luminous Foundation. I really like the finish of this. It's not super heavy. It feels really lightweight on your skin, and it's not very cakey. It doesn't dry me out a lot as well. But if you are really oily, I would recommend going with the more matte formula, or you can use this and then apply some powder. I don't need powder because it dries me out really bad and makes my foundation look super cakey, so that's why I use the setting sprays. But this is really great. I really recommend it. And unlike the Do You foundation that I used in my last video, this one doesn't have a scent like that, so if you're scent sensitive, this is really good for you too. To apply, I'm going to be using this Tarte foundation brush. It's supposed to give you an airbrush finish, and that's why it's like super fluffy but like densely packed like this. I'm going to apply directly onto the brush. Before I forget, the shade that I used for this is the shade Fawn. Now I'm going to apply the Born This Way Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced in the shade Sand. I'm going to use that as my concealer under my under eye circles as well as my T-zone area. Next, I'm going to be using the Flesh Beauty highlighting stick in the shade Pinky. I like to use this before I use my regular highlighters because I don't want to look like too sweaty, but I also like to pack it on in my cheekbone area, which is where I think it matters the most. So everywhere else, this gives like a nice sheer luminous glow. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Foil highlighter in Mango Mimosa and Santa Sangria. I like to swirl them together because they're so gorgeous, but they're also so pretty by themselves. This orange color is like so nice, and so is this purple, and it's a really warm shade, which is really good for the fall since the warm tones are really in right now. So I'm going to swirl them together and then apply. To blend that all together, I used brush 4. Next, for my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Sculpt and Glow Shimmer Bronzing Powder by Model's Own. I got this at a Her Story college fashion show, and it's a really pretty bronzer. It's really shimmery, which I really like in my bronzers, and it's not overly like heavy, so you can build up the color and you can use it however way you want to use this, which I really like. If you prefer matte bronzers, they also have a matte one. Model's Own doesn't get a lot of attention, I feel like, in the beauty community, because I think it's a little bit newer, but this is a really good brand. Like, they have a lot of other really good stuff too. I'm going to be using brush 3, and I'm just going to apply this at my jawline and my cheekbones. For my blush, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush, and I'm going to be using the shade Something About Berry. Again, if you're doing your makeup and you don't want to use like highlighters or like an entire full face, this is a really good alternative since it is a little shimmery but not too much, and the colors are really pretty. They come in a lot of different colors. I really love how this blush looks on me, and I like the 3 different colors so you can pick and choose, but I like to swirl them all together. And I use brush 2 to apply. For my lips, I'm going to be using the Shimmer Shock Lipstick by Buxom Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Atomic Allure. Again, this look is very shimmery, which I really like. But if you're not into that, there's obviously a lot of other matte products that you can use instead, and you can pick and choose where you want to shimmer. To finish off, I want to use the Lottie London holographic lip gloss in the shade Goals. Again, Lottie London is another brand that I don't usually see in the beauty community, and their stuff is also really good, and it's also really affordable, which I really like. This shade is also super pretty. It's not that it's not super light like I see most holographic lip glosses, but it's also not really dark. It's a good in-between shade, which I think will complement this lip color really well too. I'm going to set finally with the Chill Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray, as well as the Coola SPF 30 Setting Spray. And there you have it! Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, welcome! I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm thinking the schedule that I kind of want to do is probably going to be uploading every Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. If you have any other ideas on what looks I should do or what palettes I should use next, feel free to comment below or let me know on my Twitter or Instagram, goalgoddess_MUA for my Instagram and goalgoddessMUA for my Twitter. Everything that I use is going to be linked in the description below, as well as Jackie Aina's video and my first video. And if you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe! Bye!